You open a dating app, you swipe left before you even finish reading the bio. You slow down on some profiles, you skip others without a second thought. You have a type. You might deny it. Most people do. But the truth is, your brain made a decision about that person in under a second. You did not choose to do that. It just happened. It happens on the street, on the train, in a coffee shop. Your brain is constantly scanning, constantly running a calculation you never asked it to run. Now here's the question nobody asks. Where did that come from? Was it something modern culture invented? Something that came after magazine covers and celebrity culture and social media told us what to find attractive? Or is it something far older than any of that? Something built in, something installed, something that has been running in the human brain for a very long time. The assumption most people carry is that ancient humans mated randomly. Whoever was nearby, whoever was available. Pure survival logic, with no room for preference or attraction or choice. That assumption is wrong. And the proof has been sitting in a South African cave since 2002. 100,000 years ago, a group of ancient humans were living in a cave on the southern coast of what is now South Africa. The site is called Blombos Cave, and what archaeologists found there was not weapons, not hunting tools, not fire pit remains. It was something they did not expect at all. Red ochre pigment, ground down into a fine powder, mixed with liquid to make a paste. Now here is the part most people skip over. How do scientists know this was decorative? Why not practical? Waterproofing animal hides, preserving meat, marking a trail. Because of how it was stored. It was kept in abalone shells, treated like something precious. And the wear patterns on the grinding stones show it was being prepared repeatedly, in small quantities, over a long period of time. This was not a one-off practical task. This was a routine. These people were applying color to their bodies on a regular basis. And alongside the ochre, found small shells with tiny holes bored through them. Holes exactly the right size to thread a cord through. They had been collected from beaches up to 20 kilometers away, selected for consistency of size and shape. Strung together deliberately, they were jewelry. 100,000 years ago, ancient humans were grinding pigment, decorating their skin, and wearing handcrafted accessories. There is only one reason any species does that: to be chosen. This is what scientists call sexual selection. The idea was first described by Charles Darwin, who noticed that the traits animals find attractive are not always the same as the traits that help them survive. The peacock tail is the famous example. It is enormous. It makes the bird slower. It makes it more visible to predators. By every rule of survival, it should have disappeared thousands of years ago. It did not, because payhens chose it. And that preference was a stronger evolutionary force than the survival cost. Ancient humans were running exactly the same process, but they were not selecting for feathers. They were selecting for symmetry, for posture, for the condition of skin and teeth and eyes. And here is why those things actually matter biologically. Facial symmetry is a direct marker of developmental stability. A face that developed evenly under stress, with no significant genetic errors, with no heavy disease load during development. Clear skin signals a functional immune system. Good posture signals structural health and physical strength. These are not arbitrary beauty standards that culture invented. They are survival calculations, biological signals. Your brain was designed to read at speed, and it still does. Every time you look at a face, your brain measures symmetry before you form a single conscious thought. It reads skin condition. It assesses posture. All of it happens in fractions of a second. You did not learn to do this. Nobody taught you. It was already there. Now here is where it gets genuinely strange. Ancient DNA research over the last 2 decades has revealed something unexpected about how modern humans, Neanderthals, and Denisovans interacted when their populations crossed paths tens of thousands of years ago. They did not mate randomly when they met. The interbreeding was selective. And here is the detail that most people miss. The Neanderthal genes that survived in the modern human genome are not random. They cluster around very specific biological functions. Immune system genes, skin and hair adaptation genes that help the body cope with colder climates and different pathogens. The survival traits. The ancient algorithm was not just running on appearance. It was somehow selecting for biological compatibility, for genes that offered something genuinely useful in a new environment. The genes that did not offer that were filtered out. They are almost completely absent from the modern human genome today. Something was choosing. Across species, across tens of thousands of years, there was a type, and it was not accidental. So the next time someone tells you that having a type is shallow, or that your preferences are something to feel embarrassed about, remember this. Your type is not a product of social media. It is not something any culture invented. It is a 100,000-year-old algorithm that was field-tested across ice ages, migration events, and encounters with species that were not even the same as you. Every preference you carry right now was earned by someone who survived because of it. Your brain is not being shallow when it makes a call in under a second. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. And it has been doing it since long before dating apps existed, long before anyone had a word for attraction, long before anyone had a word for anything at all. You did not choose your type. Your type was chosen for you, somewhere back in a cave, a very long time ago. And if you are wondering whether ancient humans ever had a type and still got rejected anyway, that is exactly what we are covering next time. The evidence is stranger than you think. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Harry would want that. Probably. He spent 3 hours grinding ochre this morning, and nobody even noticed.